Ukraine's geographical position has shaped its destiny. Positioned at the crossroads of Europe and Asia, it has been a bridge between East and West. This strategic location has also made Ukraine a coveted prize for empires throughout history. The vast steppes of Ukraine, known as the breadbasket of Europe, have been fiercely contested. For centuries, Ukraine was caught between powerful empires. The Russian Empire, the Austro-Hungarian Empire, and the Ottoman Empire all vied for control of Ukrainian lands. This struggle for dominance left a legacy of political fragmentation and cultural diversity. Ukraine's population encompasses a rich tapestry of ethnicities and languages. The collapse of empires in the 20th century offered Ukraine a glimpse of independence. However, this period was short-lived. The Russian Revolution and the subsequent civil war drew Ukraine back into the Russian orbit. In 1922, Ukraine became a founding member of the Soviet Union. The Soviet period was a time of both progress and tragedy for Ukraine. On the one hand, Ukraine underwent rapid industrialization and modernization. On the other hand, it suffered from brutal political repression. The Holodomor, a man-made famine engineered by Stalin's regime in the 1930s, remains a deep wound in Ukraine's national memory. The Holodomor, meaning to kill by starvation, decimated the Ukrainian countryside. Millions perished from hunger and disease, as the Soviet government confiscated grain and imposed impossible quotas on Ukrainian farmers. The Holodomor stands as a stark reminder of the horrors of totalitarian rule. World War II brought further devastation to Ukraine. Caught between Nazi Germany and the Soviet Union, Ukraine became a battleground. Ukrainian cities and infrastructure were reduced to rubble. Millions more Ukrainians perished, victims of both Nazi atrocities and the brutal realities of war. The collapse of the Soviet Union in 1991 finally granted Ukraine its long-sought independence. However, Ukraine's journey towards democracy and prosperity has been far from smooth. The Orange Revolution in 2004 and the Maidan Revolution in 2014 were popular uprisings against corruption and Russian interference. The United States played a significant role in supporting Ukraine's democratic aspirations. Following the Orange Revolution, the U.S. provided financial aid and technical assistance to promote good governance and strengthen democratic institutions. The U.S. also imposed sanctions on Russia following its annexation of Crimea in 2014. The presidency of Donald Trump introduced a period of uncertainty in U.S.-Ukraine relations. Trump's personal affinity for Russian President Vladimir Putin, coupled with his skepticism of NATO, raised concerns among Ukrainian leaders. The 2019 impeachment scandal, which centered on allegations that Trump pressured Ukraine to investigate his political rival, further strained relations. Despite the complexities of the U.S.-Ukraine relationship, the United States remains deeply invested in Ukraine's future. This commitment is driven by a complex interplay of strategic interests, geopolitical considerations, and a sense of moral obligation. Ukraine's strategic location on the border of NATO makes it a crucial buffer against Russian expansionism. A stable, democratic Ukraine serves as a bulwark against Russian aggression and helps to safeguard European security. Moreover, the United States has a vested interest in promoting democracy and human rights around the world. However, American public opinion on Ukraine remains divided. While a majority of Americans support providing humanitarian aid to Ukraine, there is less consensus on the extent to which the U.S. should be involved militarily. The ongoing war in Ukraine has exacerbated these divisions. The future of Ukraine remains uncertain. The outcome of the current conflict will have profound implications not only for Ukraine, but also for the broader international order. The United States faces the difficult task of balancing its strategic interests with its commitment to democracy and human rights.